All right, gang, welcome to today's reaction points for Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, and another exciting FOMC day in the books. You can see the volatile action here. We were as high as 69.50, went as low as 68.83. And let's break down today's price action. So if we come over here, to the S&P, we'll start with the S&P. We got our classic tried and true Euro high sweep. It's a trade I did take here, good for a plus 1.5, actually ended up being the high of the day. And this occurred after the New York cash open. So usually what we've been seeing is a sweep of the highs here sometime in the first hour before the pre-market. And we did not get that. We got it here right after the 30-minute opening range. Blow this up just a little bit here so you guys can see. I try to keep it crunched together so you can see the bigger picture, but this is a trade I took. We didn't get a divergence signal, and our 3S code came all the way down here at 69.45. I went ahead and jumped on this trade here after I saw some of this reversal price action. Also saw our fast line turning red, slow line turning red, and then fast line crossing the slow as well. This is all part of our divergence indicator. That got me short at 69.49 as opposed to 69.45. It's a pretty big difference there, 4 points or $200 a contract. Put in a plus 1.5, got paid pretty quickly here in just about 5 minutes or so. Got myself in a risk-free position, and then we kind of hung around the New York Open and VWAP, not a trade I wanted to be in most of the day. You see, we kind of went sideways, drifted slightly lower here up into the announcement. We did get a trade here, another trade here, a sweep of the Euro lows with a divergence buy signal. Gets us in at 69.33, 69.34, as opposed to waiting for a 3S code at 69.36. So it's about a 2-3 point difference there. Drifts back to the VWAP and the midnight open. So that, again, is going to get us paid with a plus 1.5 R on the trade and more. There's our plus 1.5. You're always asking yourself, hey, if I'm targeting a plus 1 or a plus 1.5, a plus 2 or plus 3, whatever it is you're targeting, do we have room to run? Does it make sense? Or is price going to have problems getting to my plus 1.5? Okay. And so plus 1.5 sitting up here, that's going to be resting at that midnight open in VWAP. So we felt comfortable with that trade. And then here we go into the Fed announcement. We know that most of the time, or at least of recent history, we'll get a knee-jerk reaction here during the announcement. There's no surprises. We knew the expectations here. Usually we start to see the volatility kick in based off of what the Fed chair comments are during the press conference. So here is where we had the move down. Yes, in hindsight, a nice 3S code buy after taking the prior day low. However, I thought we would get a test back to the weekly open. We did not get that. But look at where price is reacting here. Right here, the 3 o'clock close, back to midnight open, back to prior day high. It's no coincidence. This is why we have to have these numbers here and these levels on our charts. If we look over at the NASDAQ, we had a similar trade situation here. There are the Euro highs right here. We had a 3S code, but 3S code trigger entry comes right into the VWAP as well as the New York Open. Not a really high odd trade situation. You want to try and get your nibbles in right here at 26,315 as opposed to 26,270. Do the math on that. $20 a point. That's a significant difference. There's your plus 1.5 on the trade. You are now risk free, my friends. And you can see the reactions through the day. Very choppy here, very noisy, but there are a lot of opportunities here if you know what you're looking for. So back to a sweep of the Euro lows, bullish divergence, so some beautiful scalps in and out of those numbers. And then you'll see the wickiness there heading into cash close. Let's move over to crude oil and gold. I did trade both of these instruments today. And coming in to today, we had a nice move here coming down into the VWAP, not a really A+ trade there. There's a sweep of the euro highs, a small move down, and then a likely stop out, and then we have nothing above as crude drifted higher. So nothing above, no new sells can be initiated. And then let's lastly move to gold, another market that would be expected to move on the heels of announcement. Here's a trade I took in gold, euro highs taken right here, pre-market. Get my drawing tool. There we go. And there's a 3S code sell signal here with the 5 and 21 also moving down. We're going to grab the old tool again. Plus 1.5 is what we're looking for. There's your plus 1.5. Remember yesterday's video, I talked about why that plus 1.5 is so important, because it often will move to that plus 1.5 and then turn around. Okay. So why we have a reaction here? What is this big black line? Let's move over. That's the prior week low. Look at the sticky action here. Bullish momentum turning favorable. 3S code back to where? Does our trade have room to run if we were to get long here and we're targeting plus 1.5? Plus 1.5 on the trade. There we go. Just barely. What are these levels? What's the significance? Why is price turning here? It's a 3-week prior close in the prior day high. That's why we have price sticking around there. Look at this. Look at the manipulation here at 1 o'clock. FOMC announcement spiking right up to prior week low, taking out swing lows along the way. And then we drift higher into a big cluster of levels. Midnight open, prior day close, new day open. Look at the reaction here. 3S code buy, 39.70, pushes us up to 39.93, and then dumps back off. So hopefully this has been another valuable lesson. FOMC day, no FOMC day, doesn't matter. We've got these key levels that we can work with. If you want to figure out or learn how to get access to these types of levels and really the whole mechanics and methodology behind this, and really this is just one piece of the special sauce that we use in addition to trading these levels, reach out to t2markets.com, book a call with me. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Also, feel free to comment below. I'll reply to you personally. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow's for reaction points.